Okay, here we are. So welcome to episode 2 of my 30-day, or 26-day rather, Herbert devlog. So, a lot of both a lot of changes and not that many changes have been made since last night. So I think the biggest changes, or the biggest progresses that we've made today are um, updating the test level, updating Herbert's moveset, starting work on an enemy, and starting work on new artwork, and getting a list together and like just a document together of all the things I want to accomplish. Uh, this seems like a huge list. This is for the end game. This is not for what I'm going to submit to my class. But actually, about that, so I'm gonna address that right now. So for my final project for my class, I can use this, and I don't even need to upload a repository or anything. I just need a screenshot of some of my code, and then a video of my code in action, so it'd just be gameplay. The only issue is that if I post this anywhere, like if I post that anywhere, like the code and the video or whatever, or like anyone to use this, that might cause an issue. I don't know, but my theory is that because this is what my teacher told me, if I use a different version to share with other people, so essentially not a demo, or like a demo, then I will be fine. So that's what I'm gonna tell myself for now. um, so a lot of stuff got started today. A couple things got finished, and a lot of things are still up in the air for now with progress-wise. So I want to start off with Herbert's moveset. So he's still the same old Herbert. He can shoot now. Well, that was since last night, but I updated his shooting animation and his bullets. So now it's a little more tolerable on the eyes, and it makes a little more sense, I guess. Oh yeah, so you just saw the first enemy die there. I'll explain him later. I adjusted his dash, so now he doesn't freeze his wide movement in the air, he just has reduced wide movement. And if you jump in the middle of a dash, you do a dash jump. And what's cool about this is that there's two different ways you can do a dash jump. You can do a regular dash jump by taking dash and jump at the same time, obviously. Boom, regular dash jump. Or you can do like almost like a super dash jump, like this. Whee! That's if you're holding forward during the dash that you jump from, and you can go pretty far with it. I'm gonna keep this absolutely because I think this is a really cool feature. The timing is a little bit screwy. It just depends on like muscle memory and stuff, I guess. But you know, I guess that's why it's harder to do than just a regular dash jump or an air dash. So this took me a little while to get working. Oh yeah, there's also a different animation for when he's in the air than when he is on the ground. So this is his ground animation, and then I think the air animation's working, right? I'm honestly not sure. Because it lasts for so little time. Yeah, it's a new animation. You can barely tell, so I might make it a little more obvious that it's a different animation. But, you know, it's essentially the same thing. Because like in this one, he's like, wee, he's got like the straight arms. But then in this one, he's got like the curvy arms. I'll make that more obvious later. I just spent a lot of time talking about his dash. I haven't talked about anything else. So this art asset right here, this snowy grass type looking thing, this was done by my friend Jaylene. And with the demo I'm going to send to my class, I'm not going to use this because I want everything to be 100% original. But if I ever upload this anywhere else, like an itch page or maybe even Steam, I don't know, or Game Jolt, I will be using the art assets that we make. but for now, well, yeah, we'll use these for now. We're working on a tile set for this level. This is the first level that we're going to be, or at least the demo level. At first we were going to do like a hand-drawn kind of look, that's why it's like black and white. But then we decided on, it kind of looks like snow. It'd be kind of cool if he was in like a snowy area. So that's what we're doing for now. Alright, let's get to this guy. So this is just a joke that we made while we were making more art assets for Herbert. We were like, haha. There's a different version of this she drew where it was just a very like corporate looking, you know, as in like very like sterile looking Herbert. Because like you gotta admit, this is a very like rough, almost kind of charming sprite for Herbert, you know. And then this, you know, she's obviously a much better artist than I am, but you know, it's just like more corporate. So we made him the first enemy, or at least like a placeholder. For now, he has physics, so he doesn't fall through the ground and stuff, which isn't really obvious here. It kind of looks like he's frozen, but I mean, you know, if you were to like launch him upwards or something, he would fall back down to the ground and not go through. And if he were to try to go through a wall, he wouldn't go through. And he also has health. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He has 5 health. That wasn't actually that hard to implement, but it's because I'm using like a really rudimentary version of it. It only works for that enemy. If I were to make any other enemy, it wouldn't work. So I need to figure out how to tag or flag objects as enemies. I'm not sure if that's something you can do in Game Maker, but that's something I'm going to figure out soon. But yeah, that's something. So in summary for tonight, we got started on new art assets. I basically finished his base jump. I might tweak this in the future because, you know, obviously it's a little like, you know, but I do enjoy his movement set now. He's very fun to use. You know, I'd be very happy to do some platforming with him and some combat. And I also did a questionnaire with some of my friends about what they value in a single-player game. Well, this came from this. So I guess we'll go over this now. This text document of my ideas and my goals for Herbert. So the first thing I thought about was progression, like character progression. So unlockable moves and a customizable arsenal. Herbert should slowly unlock more moves, weapons over time, and be able to switch them out to fit playstyle. Sort of like in Devil May Cry 5. You know, not specifically, you can do that in other Devil May Cry games, but just as an example, like how Dante can. And you begin the game with like the basics, and you unlock the dash, you unlock more weapons, more movement options, all that. And then every few levels are bosses, which actually I should update this, so every act, because we'll go over that in a second, unlock new moves and weapons like in DMC. So let's go over the weapons and stuff. So projectiles, or just the weapons, I guess. I don't really feel like giving him melee moves. Doodle gun is the basic one he has right now. It's like the pistol, medium rate of fire, small range, which I haven't fixed yet. He has infinite range. Medium damage, and random crit, which can be upgraded. I haven't done that yet. I'll eventually do that, but the math behind that I still have to figure out, and also just how I'm going to code it. But a random crit would be fun to like consider. And then eraser beam. Notice the hand-drawn motif in the names. I'm probably going to change that. Fast rate of fire, large range, low damage. Basically the machine gun of the group. And then the rip rocket, slow rate of fire, large range, high damage, area of effect. So it's literally just a rocket launcher. Yeah, I'm still like blueprinting the weapons and stuff. I don't know if these are gonna be the final. This is gonna be the final lineup. I don't want to add too many weapons. My idea for like having multiple weapons came from Devil May Cry, and also Caro Blaster. but each weapon in Kara Blaster had more of like a had more usage than just combat. So and like the combat in Herbert so far, at least, I don't want it to be like Kara Blaster or like maybe like a Mega Man or something. Well, Mega Man will be more comparable. But for now, I want to keep it simple. At least for this demo, I'm gonna send out. I want 3 weapons. If I don't get to that, it's fine. And then movement based. Here we go. So these are basically just the dashes. I don't know if these are final. The skateboard is obviously a mainstay. I love that. It's a fast dash, medium range. I might have to forget about range and stuff. I might have to remedy that with speed. No damage, so no damage on hit, and he's invulnerable. And he can get the hoverboard upgrade, which allows you to dash in midair twice. Pretty self-explanatory. Motorcycle is a slow dash with low range, and it damages enemies that it comes near, and he's invulnerable. And the malfunctioning rocket is a fast dash with long range that doesn't stop until it hits something. So, doesn't stop until collision. It does explosion damage, so basically area of effect, and he takes damage at the end. And then other upgrades can be like health capacity and whatnot. The thing I spent the most time thinking about was level progression and scoring. The scoring I don't have as baked as what I was thinking of for level progression, which is still really simple itself, but just from the questionnaire I put out to my friends, one of the questions was, do you prefer longer levels or shorter levels? And I got a mix of both. And I was thinking, how do I incorporate longer, consecutive levels while also appealing to people who want to have a short play? So I came up with this act stage system, kind of like in Sonic, but you go from stage to stage seamlessly. You don't have to go through you don't see a rank or a score at the end of a stage. This is just what happens. Or you do, but it doesn't halt gameplay. You go straight into the next stage. No loading screens, no breaking, no nothing. So act whatever stage 1 through 3. I want each act to be 3 stages long, just to keep it simple and to keep it manageable, I guess, and standardize it. And then maybe you can switch it up and have an act be 1 stage. The game is broken up between acts, so you don't see any menus or breaking up menus or cutscenes or whatever, or any big event happen until acts are over. Level designs are linear, but every first stage has an alternate ending or branching paths, so that you start somewhere different in the next stage, not act. Stage. So almost like in Sonic Mania, where there's different ways to finish the level, I want each act's first stage to have that, just for replayability's sake, and also to award people for going out of the way and finding secrets and stuff. And every stage 3 has a boss. That's just something I want to figure out. Bosses are really hard to program, so I don't know if that's actually going to happen, but we'll see. Scoring is another thing that I wanted to include because I felt like it would be, this is something I like in my games. I like going for rank in Devil May Cry, or I like finishing stages fast in any platformer or whatever. But I know this isn't important to everyone, but it's non-intrusive, you know what I mean? From the survey I put out, people only care about scoring if it's tied to unlocks or achievements. So, but they aren't adverse to it. It'd be oh, it'd be nice to see, I guess, but I don't really care about it. So I don't know if I'm going to do that. I think I might tie score to extra unlocks. So these 3 probably won't have to be unlocked with score, but the random crit rate and then like maybe something else for the eraser beam, maybe something else for the rip rocket, the hoverboard upgrade, that I would lock behind score. Like I was thinking like either make this a secret or something else. So, I don't know. I want to lock something behind score just to give it some significance, but not make it intrusive where it's like you need to grind out this level so that you can get the thing. It'd just be like a nice bonus for people who went out of their way to try it, or as something that you get as replaying it. That'd be fun. Anyway, so I want to provide like a scoring sheet in game almost, or just like make it transparent how you're being scored, so that people don't have to like sit and wonder. That's something I didn't really like about some games, even though like that added nuance does make it more interesting. I still wasn't really a fan of it, but we'll see how that works. So far I was thinking of granting points for enemies defeated, obviously, for time it took to finish the stage, and if you found any secrets or alternative endings. So if you found a branched off ending, you would get extra points. Or if you found like a secret, you get extra points. It's like Easter eggs or something. But that's actually another thing that I was considering not putting in. At least the finding secrets thing. I think the alternative ending thing would be interesting. But I don't want people to have to slow themselves down, to get more points and then end up losing points. I don't want people to ignore secrets because they want more points. So I need to figure out how those two will coincide. Who knows? Subtract points for taking damage, dying, and I gotta figure out this stuff. I want to make it more. What is it? I read something online where people care more about your score or feel more like urgency to improve their score if they're losing more points than they are gaining. So, and obviously, right? But it's I'm not explaining it right. It's like if they're gaining like millions and millions of points, they don't really care. But if points seem kind of hard to come by, even though they don't really mean anything to the game, just like in a like I want to prove myself kind of way, it's like seeing someone. What's a good example? It's like if you did like a placement test and you did bad on it, doesn't really affect you, or like a PSAT and you did bad on it, doesn't really affect you, like in reality, but like mentally, it's like, I want to get that score higher. So, I want to make like losing points more devastating than it is to gain points. I want gaining points to be a given, and I want losing points to be worse, so that people will go back and replay, see if they can do it well. And then I want to show rank because I like ranks, and a score at the end of each act. People don't really care about scores apparently, and they want to see ranks at the end. At least that's what people like included in their little comments. Like, I prefer to see a rank at the end, and if it has to, it'd be nice if I could see both. So I'll put both. Why not? And that's all that I have so far. I think I'm making good progress, if I'm being honest. It's only been 5 days, and I have basically a fully working basic moveset, and a good idea of where I want to go. I'm obviously not at pace to finish a whole game in 30 days. That's not going to happen. But hopefully, I can get some sort of semblance of a demo by the end of my trial, when I can finally export it and share it with people. So yeah, that's it for this for now. I will hopefully have more done by tomorrow. School is getting a little more busy, but that should be not a problem by Wednesday. So yeah, okay. I will see you in the next one. Thank you for taking interest in my project. You have a wonderful night, a wonderful day. Adios.